The idea here is that we call this activated leads. And if you follow the show or you follow the content for some time, you know that I like to talk about my funnels, right? So we've got our funnels, and there's some stages of our funnels that we're going to drive people through. Uh, Marketing would call this like, um, what do we have? Consideration, right? Consideration, or no, wait, hold on. I'm messing this up. Awareness, consideration, evaluation, conversion. So we've probably seen this funnel. If you follow the content, you see this before. So up top here, this is the first phase of engagement. Are you aware of me? Then once you're aware, you could potentially consider, is there a fit or not? Once you consider, you would evaluate me versus others versus status quo, and then finally conversion. This is a pretty standard marketing funnel. And then on the right-hand side, I'm going to talk about like the SDR kind of funnel. And if you follow my best practices, we use buckets. So you've got uncontacted, you've got working, you have priority, and then you have scheduled. So if you follow my content, you know what that is. And it maps really nicely into where people are at, except for this one huge issue when it comes to the digital age and how people actually run through the funnel. This is not a linear progression, right? Um, there are lots of different touch points in the modern world where individuals can become aware of what you do, consider your products, evaluate your products, and ultimately make a decision. However, we are very linear focused on driving someone through our process from we haven't spoken before, I'm trying to reach you, we're working, we're reaching each other, we're having a conversation, and finally I'm getting you converted. Down here, once we schedule, this is be like an MQL, and then those MQLs need to turn to SQLs, and that's where money is produced. But there's lots of different touch points, right? You've got your website, you got, I won't put a circle around that, you've got social media, you've got podcasts, you got live shows like we're doing right now. So these are all kind of marketing things. You also have the traditional channels for SDR, which is phone, email, and maybe like LinkedIn, right? If it's business to business. Okay. So if these are all the different touch points where people can become aware, consider, evaluate, converse, and then over here, we're using these channels to try to drive you through them. People don't just go down here like this, right? They're kind of all over the place. And a lot of times we can get somebody on the phone. They might tell us to, go pound sand, but then they're on our website, and from the website visit, they're over here maybe evaluating you and your competitor, right? And they choose to go with your competitor, or they're evaluating you and they hit that marketing website and say, hey, I want to take a demo, because they didn't want to talk to you as an SDR. So the fundamental problem with all of this right now is that as an SDR, those of you that are calling right now, we are cold calling. So today we're going to show this off. We're cold calling people that don't know anything about us, uncontacted, no awareness. And we're trying to drive them from you don't know me all the way down to a meeting in one conversation, one interruption, one intrusion of time, one very scary thing. What if there was a better way to do that? What if there was a way where we could use the phone, email, and social to take someone from uncontacted, build some awareness, gather some information, allow them to get into evaluation, and only schedule when the time's right? That's the whole concept of activated leads. Okay, so activated leads is we're not calling with the intention of scheduling a meeting on the first call. We are calling with the intention of building awareness, gathering information to see if they would even consider us, setting the stage for a future follow-up, and we're also channel activating where we can reach them, starting with the phone conversation first. So that's the premise here. Justin, anything I missed that I didn't share that I usually share to help set the stage for today?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think we're going to go over the script and kind of how the flow works and the handoff process as well. But no, as far as the funnel, that was right. Look good.
Yeah, so let me share my screen here and we'll walk you through the actual script that we're going to use. So again, these are going to be cold calls. Is this coming through okay?
Yeah.
Is it small? Is it big enough? Make it a little bigger.
Yeah,
So,
there you go.
so the script, we're going to introduce ourselves. Hey, this is Ryan. It's like pause, navigate. What does that mean? A lot of people are going to engage in different ways at the front. We want to listen with our 2 ears and adjust accordingly. Sometimes we're going to run right through this because we're not hearing them like they're going to say, oh, hey, how's it going? Whatever. They're just going to be sitting there silent. So we want to continue the conversation. Sometimes they're going to say how we're doing, and we're going to navigate accordingly. We're going to get permission to move forward and then introduce the purpose for the call. The purpose of our call right now is really just to introduce ourselves and see if it makes sense to follow up at a later time. We're going to confirm target. Hey, a lot of times we're failing because we're calling people who are not the right people, like literally not even the right people. Like I think I'm calling Justin Middleton, who's a inside sales director at company ABC, but it's Justin Middleton, who is a professor at Northwestern University. So I want to confirm my target. Then I'm going to ask a relevant question based on that confirmation. Okay. And then I'm going to go right into a call to action, which is literally, and this is going to blow everybody's mind. We're just going to ask if we can send them an email and get them to opt in to receive our information and follow up at a later date. So that's the intent here. What we're going to do is activate leads. And this activation is going to allow us to build our buckets. If I went back to the funnel I had over there and start to figure out, one, are these people even the right people? Two, allow them to get some awareness on their terms. And then three, build a future list of follow-ups that are going to have a very, very high connect rate. People who pick up tend to pick up again, and a conversion rate that's going to be 2 to 3 times higher than what you're doing right now. So when you can 3 to 5x your dial to connect rate and 2 to 3x your conversion, you're getting a 15x lift on that future list versus trying to hammer it all in one go. Where today you might be dialing and only having a conversation every 20, 30 dials and converting maybe 5 to 10%. Tomorrow, with this process, you're going to have a live conversation with the follow-ups every 3 to 5 dials, and you're going to convert 15 to 20, maybe 25%. So that's the goal. Today, we're going to show step one, which is how do we activate these leads? So without further ado, I'm going to stop sharing. And I'm going to pass it over to Justin. You want to fire up the dialer? We can start some calling. Feel free to fire in questions as you want. We are going to leave Q&A towards the end. So Justin and I are going to have some call for calls. We'll coach a little bit between, talk about what's going on, and then we'll leave the last 15 minutes or so for live Q&A.
Yeah, let's do it. I got the dialer up. Another thing, when you're saying the navigate up front, you need to navigate the type of person that you're talking to, not trying to pitch or speak to everyone exactly the same. You need to listen to the surroundings, listen to the background, listen to their tone, the speed of their voice, and adjust accordingly. And that will get you through more conversations or inform you to exit the conversation without getting shut down because they were busy or in the middle of something. You'll hear that today. We'll go over it live. I think that's where a lot of people kind of fall short. I've been noticing this past couple of days being back on the phones again a little bit more, testing out, some of these transitions that we're doing, pushing this funnel a little bit harder to the end of the year. I have had 0 hangups in the past 3 days. 0 people have hung up on me in the past 3 days. I've completed every conversation. And I think it's a lot of just listening to what's going on or how they're responding or the tone of their voice as well when they first pick up.
It's huge. And you'll see this as we run through some dialing here. The tone, the pace will change based on this pause and navigate when we introduce ourselves, but we're also listening. Again, you won't hear the other side, so you don't get to hear the whole thing, but the way people answer the phone. Hello, 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 hello. Hi, this is Ryan. How can I help you? All of these are signals to help us adjust and navigate how we're going to move through each section of the conversation. It's pretty advanced tactics, but we'll hear that as we get going. Justin, are you
It
free for
is.
that?
It is and it isn't. Yeah, I'm down. I'm still down. It is and it isn't. People when I've noticed, you say advanced tactics. People when they get in this mode of cold calling tend to box themselves in to this mental framework of oh my god, I'm interrupting someone's day. In the real world, Eric, sorry, I'm trying to talk and here. In the real world, when this happens, we adapt, right? If our significant other is a little pushy in the morning or a little tense in the morning, we immediately adapt. If we go into a store, right, and somebody's happy or like, hey, Shane, Justin Middleton here. You're actually not expecting my call today. This is the first time I've ever reached you. Did you have half a minute so I can share why I called? Perfect. I appreciate your time, Shane. Again, my name is Justin Middleton. I'm with PRLs. The reason for the call today is to briefly introduce my company and actually determine if it would make sense to coordinate a more formal introduction at some point in the future. That way, I'm not calling out of the blue on a Tuesday morning here. You are still the director of inside sales at Pro Pharma Group, correct? Okay, awesome. And are your sales reps mainly focused on calling inbound leads when prospecting, or do they do any proactive outbound calling to generate new business opportunities? Perfect. That's exactly why I was calling, Shane. Any objection to me sending you some information about what we do, a link to our marketing site with a few examples of how we're helping teams like yours have more success using the phone when prospecting for new business ops? And once you've had time to review all that, I'll follow up with a call. Okay, I've got first initial, last name at Treximo. Is that your best email? Treximo.com? Okay. Propharmagroup.com. Okay, got it. All right, Shane, I appreciate your time. Keep an eye out for an email coming from us here at Phone Ready Leads, and I look forward to talking to you next week. Have a great holiday here. All right, bye.
All right. So that was exactly how it performed. We're going to share this again. Walk us through what just happened.
So, are you asking me?
No, I'm walking you through this right now. So
Okay,
you
okay.
you pause the name of it. You said so he opened up with his name, obviously, because you're like, hey Shane, versus like, is this Shane, right? He must have said, hey, this is Shane.
Yeah,
Hey Shane. And he had probably an enthusiastic voice because you were a little bit enthusiastic. You matched him a
yeah,
little bit. Yep.
yeah. Okay.
But you can hear if you just listen to that call and look at the script, it was legitimately verbatim the script, right? He just walked him right through this navigation, right? Again, this is his name. We're trying to introduce ourselves. I want to make sure I'm on the right place, name and title. Are your reps doing this? Now, this is interesting here because this question is designed uniquely. We don't care about the answer, right? Are your reps mainly focused on calling inbound leads when prospecting, or do they do any proactive outbound calling to generate new business opportunities? He must have said they do outbound because you use that as the example in the bottom, right, Justin? No, you
Yeah,
guys are
you
not going
said
to
they.
because you're
Yeah,
not going to hear the other side. It's not compliant to share other people's conversations on live shows like this. So you will not hear the other side. Um, but Justin, he said, yes, we use outbound, right?
yep.
And that's why I said perfect. That's exactly what I was calling. Now, if he would have said, actually, it's mostly inbound leads, what would it say? Perfect. That's exactly why I'm calling.
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't matter what they say. The question is uniquely designed for us to say, perfect. That's exactly why I was calling. Any objection to me sending you a link to our marketing website with a few specific examples of how we're helping teams like yours have more success using the phone when in this case, following up on inbound leads if it was inbound leads versus prospecting for new business. And once you've had an opportunity to review the information, we can determine if it's worth a follow-up call or not. Confirmed email. Guess what? The data we had was wrong. He got a better email. He's going to send that out. Let me log in. Justin, you want to do another call and I'll show, I
Yeah.
don't know, I'll showcase the I'll showcase the follow-up methodology with the email and how that works. But
Yeah.
go ahead and get in there again. Perfect. Perfectly executed. No
Yeah, and I
stress,
mean that's
no
the first time
pressure.
I've read that script, guys. Like literally, he just gave me the script. I read it this morning and went through it. Like it doesn't matter if you're creating. Hey, good morning. Hey, good morning. Is Kanika your weeks running around there today? Awesome. Thank you. When you hear us like double stepping on these words, creating these gaps in words, like we're doing that by design. You can read any script and we can read it, but if you're not reading something and then actually communicating it are two totally different things. So when you hear us double stepping on words, or all we're doing is preparing on how we're going to deliver. Hey, Kanika. Hey, this is Justin Middleton. You're actually not expecting my call. It's the first time I've ever reached you. Did you have half a minute today so I could share while I was calling? Fair enough. I understand. Again, I'm Justin Middleton. I'm actually calling with PRLs. The purpose of today's call is to briefly introduce my company and determine if it would make sense to coordinate a more formal introduction at some point in the future when I'm not randomly calling you out of the blue on a Tuesday morning like today. You are still the director of inside sales at One Solution Team, correct? Awesome. And are your reps mainly focused on calling inbound leads when prospecting, or do they do any proactive outbound calling to generate new business? Got it. Oh, got it. Okay. Okay. That's perfect. That's it's a unique situation. And are you doing anything with inbound outside of the trade shows? Are you following up on any inbound leads that may come through like the marketing website or anything like that? Okay. Got it. Okay. Okay. So a little bit different use case. That's no problem. I appreciate all the clarity today, Kanika. Any objection to me just sending you some information about what we do, and examples of how we're helping teams like yours utilize the phone, especially when it comes to like these trade show leads, kind of sifting through what's good, what's not good, and then maybe follow up once you've had time to review that information? Okay, sounds good. And I've got K York Weeks at JDF Associates. That doesn't sound like the best email. What's your updated email? Okay. OneSolutionTeam.com. Okay, perfect. Hey, I appreciate your time today. I'll get this out to you, and then maybe we can find some alignment in the future. You have a great afternoon and a happy holidays here. Okay. Uh huh. Bye. Boom, baby.
Diamond cutter. Bang! All right. So the process here is 2 for 2. He's getting people to opt in. Remember, we're activating, confirming target. Is this the right person? Now, that particular one, he's learning about the use cases as well. This is what's really, really fascinating about the. So this is we haven't been running this for a while, so you have to look at this. But the amount of opens that we get from our sends. So uh, when you do this activation, typically when you're cold emailing, you probably get like, I don't know, 20, maybe 40% open rates. With activated leads, with people that literally you just spoke with and you send them the email right afterwards, we're seeing 80, 90% open rates. And in fact, some of the people, if you have the call to actions right, are just booking right away when you send them emails as well. So lot of people are thinking, why don't you just ask for the meeting? That's not the intention. The intention is to get them an opportunity to explore what you have. Caveat here is you have to have a decent marketing site. It has to match the offering that you have. And then you should have a really good social presence, brand authority, customer reviews, things like that. That way you can put them into your digital funnel. And when you follow up, if they haven't decided to already move into that consideration and evaluation stage, then that next call is going to convert them. Again, you should expect a 3 to 5x increase in your connect rate on follow-ups, and you will also expect about a 2 to 3x increase in your conversion rate from your cold call. So uh, here we go. I'm going to show the other side of this. So when we are activating these leads, this is an email account that we're sending these emails from. Really straightforward, really straightforward uh, email. Look at that. Spoke with. And you can see here the amount of opens versus not opens, right? So this is when we were running this campaign internally recently. We haven't been calling on this for looks like 2 months now, but green means open, blank means not. If you were to do the math on this, look at all these opens versus not opens, right? So there's a stint of about 4 in a row that didn't, but there's tons of opens. Now, when we go to compose the email, we also just have a couple quick templates. Again, whether we're calling inbound or outbound, we have the 2 use cases: calls inbounds, calls outbounds, does both. And then we just have a template. Boom, boom, links to our website, links to examples. It's really straightforward. It's very fast. When we say send some specific examples, the list is the strategy. And now what you're doing is you're compounding a conversation into other channels. And that compound effect results in a very high open rate. Opting into your email communication, you can leverage that email engagement to determine, hey, is email a great channel? But remember, you got them on the phone first. So you want to follow up, get them back on the phone if you haven't responded. And the goal here is to not wait more than 24 to 48 hours. So Justin's making the calls today. He's activating them today. We're going to send the emails out today, like immediately, with those templates. So it's very fresh in their mind. I just spoke with this very different salesperson. Didn't come to me with commission breath. Came to me with a quick introduction, offered to send me some information, and he actually did it. And it was relevant to me. And I clicked onto it, and it is associated with a use case that's associated with my title at a company like me. And then what happens? They either respond, or Justin follows up within a day or two. It's top of mind, and that's where you're going to see that dramatic increase in your conversion rate. If nothing else, you're going to get to an outcome in a matter of days, not 27 touches, waiting 5 days, rolling them up with a social profile view first. This starts with a phone conversation first, compounding that into other channels. And you could take the same approach with email into social as well. So if you wanted to take it to the next level, you could go call, email. If they're active on social, go ahead and hit them with a connection request. Thanks for the conversation today. Look out for my email. And now you're triple channel validating, getting conversations started, and then getting them right back on the phone. Yeah,
So,
Lauren, a great question. Again, for us, it's templatized. So Justin, if he's running this and I'm you, I have that template available and I'm banging it out. It should not take more than a couple clicks, right?
yeah.
Bang,
And
pop.
you can confirm receipt right then. Like, hey, I went ahead and sent it. Did you see it come through? Right. And then literally you have their eyes on it. Like you've confirmed that their eyes are on it. The other thing is like what Ryan was saying to bounce off that is I've ran into this sometimes where they're like, hey, the best way to reach me is social, right? So if you start with phone first, they will inform you on the next interactions where they prefer to, right? And you can always pick up the phone again, but if they say go to social, okay, I'll go to social. Perfect. I'm going to connect with you right now. Go ahead and accept it. I'll send you some info, and then obviously you can run through my feed and see a little bit about what we're up to as well.